Have you ever asked yourself, why is life filled with so much pain? Why do we suffer even when we try so hard to be happy? Buddha once faced the same questions. Over 2,500 years ago, he observed the world. People aging, falling ill, losing loved ones, struggling with fear and anger. And he discovered an eternal truth: suffering is part of life. But more importantly, suffering has a cause. And when we understand the cause, we can free ourselves. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha teaches all conditioned things are suffering, but understanding leads to peace. Think about that. Life brings change. Change brings loss. Loss brings pain, but wisdom brings peace. We suffer because we cling to people, to success, to control. We believe life should be perfect, but life is uncertain. And in that resistance we suffer. The Buddha saw suffering not as punishment, but as a teacher. He taught pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. It's not the pain itself that traps us. It's our reaction, our fear, our attachment, our refusal to accept change. But imagine, what if suffering was not the end, but the beginning of awakening? In this journey, we will explore why suffering exists, how Buddha understood the root of the pain, simple ways to ease suffering and find inner peace. Stay with me, because suffering is not your destiny. Peace is. Part 2. Buddha's understanding of the root of suffering. Why do we suffer? This question has troubled humanity for thousands of years. The Buddha observed that suffering is not random, it has a cause. And once we understand the cause, we can be free. The Buddha taught, desire is the root of suffering. What does that mean? We suffer not because of life itself, but because of our craving, our attachment, our longing for things to be different. We want pleasure to last forever. We want control over what cannot be controlled. We fear loss, and in that fear, we suffer even before anything is gone. Desire whispers, if only I had more success, more love, more approval, then I would be happy. But the Buddha revealed the trap. The more we crave, the more restless we become. The more we cling, the more pain we create. In the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha shared, life contains suffering. Suffering has a cause: craving, ignorance, and attachment. There is a way to end suffering. The path is the Noble Eightfold Path. Think about your own life. We hold tightly to people, to achievements, to our identity. But life is always changing. Nothing stays the same. And when reality doesn't match our desire, frustration, sadness, and suffering arise. The Buddha offers hope. Suffering is not permanent. We can let go of craving. We can train the mind to see clearly. We can walk the path of wisdom and compassion. The Buddha taught, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. The mind clings, we suffer. The mind lets go, peace blossoms. Buddha did not say life will be without pain, but suffering, the mental anguish, the inner resistance that is optional. Imagine living each day with openness, allowing change to unfold, resting in the present moment without craving. That is freedom. That is peace. That is the heart of the Buddha's teaching. In the next part, we will explore practical steps to reduce suffering, nurture peace, and live with wisdom. The Buddha's wisdom is not only for monks or philosophers, it's for anyone who suffers, and we all suffer. But the Buddha gave us tools, simple, compassionate practices to ease suffering. First, awareness. The Buddha taught, when the mind is disturbed, suffering follows, like the wheel of the cart follows the ox. But when we become aware of our suffering, we interrupt the cycle. Notice when frustration, fear, or anger arise. See it clearly without judgment. Awareness is the first step to freedom. Second, acceptance. Everything that arises passes away. The Buddha explained, whatever has the nature to arise also has the nature to cease. Pain comes, but so does healing. Loss arrives, but so does renewal. Fighting life makes suffering worse. Accepting life brings space. Third, letting go. We hold tightly to control, to outcomes, to illusions, but clinging fuels suffering. The Buddha invites us to release expectations, release rigid stories, release the false belief that happiness depends on getting everything we want. Fourth, compassion, toward others and toward yourself. We all carry wounds. We all make mistakes, but compassion softens pain and transforms suffering into wisdom. The Buddha taught, hatred never ends through hatred. Hatred ends through love. In the same way, suffering dissolves with kindness. Fifth, mindfulness, to rest in the present moment. The mind loves to dwell on the past or chase the future. But peace only lives here and now. Imagine your life. Moments of suffering arise, but they no longer control you. Your heart remains steady. Your mind remains calm. Your peace remains untouched. This is not theory. This is practice. The Buddha showed us suffering is real, but suffering is not the end. The end is awakening. The end is peace. Let go. Breathe. Awaken.